Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's showtime, of course. All caffeinated and ready to go, as we know so well. A 5x5 would really be appreciative because I don't know if this is being seen or heard at the moment. The weird thing was yesterday there was about a 1 minute lag or a delay, which is bizarre. It's not really happened. It used to be like 5 seconds. Now it's a whole minute. Oh, here we are. Baron, thank you very much for that. Awesome. Right, we can crack on. So that's cool. We got 48 people here already. Morning, everybody. Right, who have we got? Let's move that. End of the world. What a wonderful, delightful name for a YouTube channel. Brilliant. Good morning, Earthheart, Squirrel Sniper. There you go, sir. You are a moderator. Cool. Absolutely. You do a sterling job in Archaics, by the way, so absolutely on point. Excellent. Sweet. So we've got all of the people in the house. It's currently bang on 7:30. We're on cue. It's all good in the hood. So yeah, 120 people. Sweet. All right then. So whilst we're waiting for the others to come in, we're going to check out what the latest is. And the latest of terrorism threat levels by the MI5 security service currently has the nation's threat level as substantial. That's not changed. Northern Ireland is at substantial as well. So no real concerns from that front. Another thing we can check out quickly is the price of gold is gone ballistic. It's absolutely nuts. It's only dropped down 17 percentage points from the other day. So that was the high. Where is it? 2390.60. So it's dropped just a little tad, but nevertheless, it still remains absolutely bonkers. Look at that. The price of gold for 1 troy ounce of gold. Crazy. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the BRICS nations buying gold at a rate of knots. I wonder. What do you think? It's I don't think it's been that high for a long time. So yeah, any of you guys invested in gold a long time ago, yeah, you're reaping the benefits right now. Personally, I can only see it going up. I think a lot of people are going to sit on it. I can't see many people selling unless they're desperate. I had to sell my gold. About a year after my son was born. I was in dire straits and I sold what I had, jewelry, and I got about 800 quid. If I'd have sold it now, it'd have been about 4 grand. So go figure. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Just checking out the chat right now. It's 2:30 in the morning in the USA, Connecticut. Oh, sorry. Wow. Bonkers or what? Mental. Yeah, if I can find it, let me just have a quick look. Yeah. I was just checking. I don't know if I think I mentioned it yesterday. I had my first YouTube strike based upon things I was talking about in the live stream, not yesterday morning, the morning before, which was the first Caffeine Crew live stream. And YouTube have removed it. It's deleted. It's gone forever. I did have a backup copy, but to save space, I deleted it. So that is gone. So you guys who took part in that, fair shout. What you witnessed there was me talking about the V word, some of the things that happened in 2020, the coincidences of AEDs all over the place instead of phone boxes. Coincidence. Anyway, yeah, that got me in deep shit. So they want me to take a test. It's weird. It's like, I don't know. I think Richard Vobes had to do this. It's almost like these are the terms and conditions. These are the things that you said that we don't like. Go on the course so you can educate yourself to learn. Once you've understood that, you can pass the test. And then from that moment, you have 90 days, which is 3 months. And if you say one wrong thing in 3 months, they block your entire YouTube channel for a week. And then once that week ban has been lifted, they stick you on another 90-day probation. So if you say something wrong within that 90 days and you get a second strike, you're literally going to be banned for another week. And then once that week ban has been lifted, you got another 90 days. And if you say one wrong thing in that 90 days, your entire YouTube channel, all of the videos, all of the messages, every single comment, the whole thing is deleted forever. That's how serious it is. I've built this channel since January 2012. So over 12 years now. And it's my livelihood. My job literally come to an end. And I've ended up doing this because there's no other way to really make a living out here. Unless I want to go and work on a farm on £10 an hour, I just wouldn't be able to afford to live here, basically. As simple as that. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I was under the impression, because I've seen other YouTube channels saying the same things. And I thought, well, maybe it's been quite a long time since 2020. And maybe it's okay to talk about that stuff now, based upon what I've seen other YouTube channels doing. So I done the same. And then, yeah, they've gone, boom, you're on a warning. I'm like, what? My first warning. Wow. So I've been tiptoeing around all of that bullshit since day one. So, yeah, so I learned a lesson there. I've literally been fine without talking about that. I call it the issue rather than saying the other words. It's absolutely real. The struggle is still real. They definitely do not want people talking on YouTube about that sort of thing. Crazy. I had Danny Rampling queued up to come on here live very soon, and we was going to talk about the WHO treaty. But based upon what's happened with my little strike, I think we'll probably have to talk about something else, because it will literally be playing right into their hands. We'll be talking about that stuff, things to be said, and then boom, I would be on that ban for a week. And because it's my livelihood, I won't be able to earn any money. I would literally be living on the streets. I won't be able to recoup that losses. So, yeah, it's crazy. It is what it is. I watched a really interesting video from someone I've been following for about 6 months now, Professor Tim. I can't remember his surname, but I like what Tim has to say. I don't agree with everything he says, and nor should we. And he raised a really, really interesting point about a certain Mr. Robinson who got the court case got thrown out yesterday. Now, he was saying, like, he agrees with some things that Mr. Robinson says and some things he doesn't. And that pretty much should be the staple for all of us. We don't have to agree with everything everyone says. But here's the thing. We defend the right for anyone to say whatever they want, because how it's looking, if you say things like I did and I've been warned, that's not much freedom, is it? Really? Okay. I've set my YouTube channel to be available for over 18s only, i.e. not for children. If it was for children, what would happen is automatically YouTube disable all comments, so no one can comment if it's set up to under 18s, which is a bit nanny state. Oh, protect the children because of trolling and all the rest of it. So yeah, okay. So being like a really like overpowering frigging parent, pretty much is what YouTube and the government and all the rest of it do. So what Tim was saying basically was freedom of speech. Okay, in my book, it's really, really important that we are all free to say whatever we want. Now, I run a pretty hard line on this channel because I'm a big fan in respect. I was brought up understanding what respect is. I was brought up with manners and to be courteous and polite. In my opinion, they are basic staples which all of us should carry as a default setting. So when I see idiots come into the chat and literally just be out of order and rude and unpolite, uncourteous, show no respect, whether they swear or not, I have the absolute right to block them. Block them, yeah. So that means they're not ever allowed to comment on this channel again. There's ways around it. They'll just open up another account and carry on. I've been having trolls since day one. So it may sound a bit contradictory that I'm a big believer in free speech, but yet I block people for being rude and disgustingly vile. Personally, the reason I do it is because I don't want people to come in to the chat or the comment section and to be drawn into that negative, vile vortex of shit, basically. Our time here is very precious. And I think it's a bit of a shame that we tend to be drawn in and to get triggered and to waste our very valuable time and our energy on someone who's struggling, someone's projecting out, someone's being a complete arsehole, whatever it is. It just lowers our vibration, lowers the tone, and it basically gets a fully mature grown adult basically back to being a child again in the school playground. Oh, he called me a name, I don't like it, so I'm going to call him a name. You know, that is a childish behavior. But absolutely, we see that in adulthood. And it's a bit embarrassing. It's a bit of a shame because one would like to think that, you know, people have matured as they've grown, but obviously it's not the case. And the weird thing about social media is there's triggers everywhere. People get triggered. I mean, on my Instagram account, I've got whatever it is, 3,000 followers, a very small following. I did have nearly 8,000 and I deleted the whole account because I was warned by a close friend of mine that I was getting too political and all sorts of bad things could happen. So I was shocked by what my friend said. So I removed the whole account. I regret that now because basically that was coming from someone with a viewpoint of fear. So I don't tend to respond too much to fear these days. I really don't. In fact, you know, you can take it or leave, whatever it is. It's all about the mindset of how you think. Something really bad, terrible, scary's happened. You can dwell on that and be in that low vibrational point for as long as you want to be or you need to be. I feel that, okay, I've seen whatever I've seen, I've heard whatever I've heard. I've got my head around it for a minute or so, and I go, okay, switch that off. Right, okay, where were we? And then carry on. Luckily, I've developed a technique to do that, and I've had that for a long time, maybe from a child. So, but I'm fully understanding not everyone has that mindset or capability. I don't know. So yeah, what's this? The Wicker Man. I've just noticed the chat. Odyssey is a good platform. Yep, I've been on there for about 2 years now. Odyssey is really good because it automatically uploads onto the platform whatever gets uploaded onto here. So that's a very good point because you know where I said that video got banned or removed from YouTube, that would be on Odyssey. Very good point. Thanks, Wicker Man. That's just literally gone into my head there. So if you guys are curious or keen to watch that, the first Caffeine Crew live stream is about 40 odd minutes, and in the title there's no number. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a number to each one. So this one is number 3, as in the third time. Number 1 was blocked, banned, removed, but you can still watch that right now on Odyssey if you want to, and you'll understand exactly what I mean about why they banned that video. It's the last like 15 minutes of that video. So if you watch the last 15 minutes of that video, you'll understand entirely where I'm coming from, and I'm not retarded enough to repeat it on here because guess what? I will be banned for a whole week and then I'll be in deep shit financially. So all of these things basically are coming back to freedom of speech. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a clip, right? Whether you love him or whether you hate him, it's irrelevant. Okay. If we can sort of suspend our immediate go-to opinions about a person, whether what they look like, what they sound like, what they say, whether it winds you up, try to sort of remain neutral, just to remain calm. Let the information sink in, mull over it, dwell on it, use intuition to decipher whether it goes in the bullshit bin, I like that, I just made that up, or the good bin. So I always feel it's a really good learning thing to sort of get to that level where you can just absorb information without reacting to it. Because to be fair, when you look at how conditioned and how controlled we've all become, especially on social media, it's very, very easy to form an opinion. I'll watch a video for like a few seconds and there's some weird trans person. And I think, oh, but it's wrong because you instantly form an opinion. That person might be a really, really good, I was going to say guy, but who knows? But it's up to them. If they're confused enough and they believe they've got more than two genders, then it's up to them. It's their choice. Whether we loathe them, whether we hate them, it's their right to decide what they want to do. And it's up to us how much energy we want to put towards them people. It's a freedom, really. And it's a really weird thing because you're talking about freedom and then you start saying or putting out there that, oh, that shouldn't be allowed, that shouldn't be allowed, that shouldn't be allowed. All you're doing is you're adding to the bullshit by limiting freedom for someone else. Because at the end of the day, we have all got the God-given right to say and think whatever we want, whether it's going to upset someone or not. It's still our human right to express ourselves in any way we can. Now, the way things are, if you was to have a society on the planet with no sort of overseer, no sort of control, what would happen is all of the bad bastards will literally go around and get whatever they want because no one's going to stop them. That's pretty much what we're seeing in a weird way with government. So basically, in a democratic society, we the people are in control, we're in charge, and we elect who we believe is up for the job to run the admin, the behind the scenes stuff, to make the infrastructure tick over and distribute money and stuff like that for the greater good to help more people. In a true democratic society, you wouldn't have people in extreme poverty. You wouldn't have people suffering. You wouldn't. You absolutely wouldn't. So we're going to listen real quick to this guy. Let me just see. Yes.
Members of Congress are terrified of the intel agencies. I'm not guessing at that. They've told me that, including people on the intel committee, including people who run the intel committee, the people whose job it is to oversee and keep in line these enormous secretive agencies whose budgets we can't even know. They're black budgets. They're the parents. The agencies are the children. They're afraid of the agencies. That's not compatible with democracy. Democracy is a really simple system, even representative democracy like ours. The people rule. They do so through elections. They express their preference through voting. They send their people to the capital city to run the government on their behalf. Whenever you have unelected people who are not accountable to anyone making the biggest decisions, you don't have a democracy. You have something else, another system. I would call it a tyranny or whatever you want to call it. It's not a democracy. So that's like super obvious. It's playing out in front of everyone and no one cares and no one does anything about it. And I think the reason is because they're threatened. And if you look at the committee chairmen who allow this shit to happen year after year, they're all, and I don't know, people say, oh, they're compromised or being blackmailed or whatever. I don't have evidence of that, but I know them and they all have things to hide. I know that for a fact. And so it's not a stretch of imagination to imagine that, you know, some committee chairman who's allowing warrantless spying on Americans to continue or whatever abuse they're allowing, knowing fully or hiding the truth about UAPs, ignoring the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023. Like, why are they doing that? It's not impossible to imagine that some guy with a drinking problem or a weird sex life, and that's very common up there. That's why they're doing it. Because they don't want to be exposed. I don't have evidence of that. I don't have proof of that.
Right.
But that's not a crazy thing to assume that could be happening. And I said to somebody, a very powerful person the other day in a conversation in my kitchen, an elected official holds a really senior position, a very famous person. I was going crazy. I was so mad about all this stuff and about the warrantless spying and about the funding for these insane wars. And I said to the guy who serves in one of the legislative bodies, I got so mad my dogs were afraid. They're like, well, why are you yelling? Because I don't yell at home. But I was like, all these people are controlled. They're all, you know, got weird sex lives and all these things are hiding and they're being blackmailed by the intel agencies. And he said, and I'm quoting, I know. It was like, okay, so at this point we're just sort of admitting that's real? Like, why do we allow that to continue?
Certainly makes you think, doesn't it? It certainly makes you think. And I've said this before on other videos. I truly believe that we are in the apocalypse right now. And before you start getting stressed out and freaked out and all of that sort of stuff, when you look at the correct definition of that word, all it means is the unveiling. That's all it is, to unveil something. So when you unveil something, you are revealing something, whatever it is. And I believe that what is happening right now is all of these feelings and truths are being exposed now. They are being revealed. They are being unveiled. They have been hidden from behind this veil. And that veil, I believe, was lifted in 2020. Jason Bashir, my friend in Texas, runs a YouTube channel called Archaics. He absolutely states that just before, when the issue happened in 2020, sorry, I'm going to come out of the chat because it's frigging bloody distracting, that the first seal was broken. So yeah, the second seal, he believes it's going to be broken during the Paris Olympics in a few months' time now. Yeah, it's interesting times. It's not the end of the world, don't worry, and all of that. And if you don't know, there's 7 seals to be broken. And I think the 6th seal is going to be broken in 2040. Just gives you an idea of the time frames. Some people believe that we're in tribulation already. That's bullshit. As one famous American said, you ain't seen nothing yet. So if you are doing the right thing, you're on the right path, you're navigating through the bullshit, you're not falling for it, you're learning, you're growing yourself, you're getting more intellectual, you're getting more, a better version of yourself, and you're helping and inspiring other people as well to do the same, you are going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're not going to be one of the people who don't make it when we get these seals broken, when certain things happen. Okay, it is what it is. That's what I believe, and some people believe. And like I said earlier, freedom of speech. We've got the right to believe whatever we want. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. I don't want you to. I just want you to do the right thing, form your own opinions, use your intuition. That is the most important message that I can ever say. Follow your intuition, your heart, your gut instinct, your intuition, your feeling inside. Whatever that says, go with it. Don't question it, just go with it. It will change your life for the better, no matter what. No matter what. Yesterday, when I saw the forecast for today, and it seems it's going to be a beautiful sunny day, most of all afternoon, I thought, wow. And there was a full moon last night. Traditionally, I have really shit sleep during the full moon for some weird reason. I just do. Last night was the first time in ages that I slept all the way through sound. I had 6 hours sleep. It's enough for me, just. So the caffeine is helping this morning. But I've already set intentions before I went to sleep last night that today was going to be an amazing day. It's going to be sunny. I'm going to get shit done. It's going to be awesome. And tonight's live stream is going to be amazing, by the way. So stick around. That's going to be 7 p.m. tonight. Don't miss out. You'll regret it, okay? Because it's going to be a good one tonight. Positive vibes throughout all of the time. So there is so much bullshit. There's so much negative blah, blah, blah going on. And we can use these, we can use these momentums to absolutely grow us, as it were. Yeah, I did have some little screen shares to show you. But to be fair, I've just looked at them and thought, no, that is just negative as hell. It's bullshit. So I'm not even going to bother, seeing as that we have just literally naturally morphed our way into this positive vibe state. Okay, because be under no illusion, right? We are literally at war. We are being attacked from every single perceivable angle that you could possibly imagine. And if that sounds scary, it is. But you have to choose whether you're going to live in fear and worry about it or not. Prepping, in my experience, is literally just using logic, thinking ahead a little bit, and doing what you feel you need to do to ensure that you are going to be okay during whatever could be coming down the road. Simple as that. A long time ago, I just thought, you know what, the way this is all going, I'm going to start preparing for a civil unrest. Okay, I lived in a city at the time, so my plan was to get all of the stuff that I was going to need, kit and equipment which is going to protect myself and my family, and with a plan to put only essentials in a vehicle and get out of Dodge just before things collapse and go shit. That was my plan. By some weird twist of fate and intuition and intent, I've ended up living in an image which I created with my own mind on a mountain in Wales in the middle of nowhere. It was strange, and I put that on an Instagram account, which I have, and I just said focus intent. It was so weird. It was in 2021 when my job come to an end. I walked out of there because I refused to wear a mask and put up with the bullshit. I was there 16 years, and they had plans for me to become senior management, a really good salary. But no, I stood by my principles. I said, give them the finger, and off I went. Walked out of that job, happy as Larry. It felt like a burden was lifted. Let me just get rid of the chat because it's really distracting. So yeah, that was me. And it wasn't long after that where I had a split-second vision. Like, wow, what was that? And all I saw was this little stone cottage on a hillside. That's all I saw. And between that moment, I was inadvertently making plans and preparations, pulling that into my conscious thoughts to end up there. And I sold everything. I held so tight onto that little vision. And that just disappeared. It almost like I forgot all about it. But I was on autopilot. I was following my intuition, my instinct, every single freaking step of the way, no matter how bad, how scary, how dangerous, how foolhardy some decisions potentially looked. It was like, no, I'm following this. I'm running with this. And I did. I sold everything I had. I gave loads of stuff away to loads of people to help loads of people out, because you should always give rather than just receive. I think that's where a lot of people fall short. They are too interested in receiving stuff. Give stuff. You'd be amazed how amazing your life turns out when you start giving stuff to people to help people. The amount of money, the amount of kit, or whatever it is I've given for free to people, the stuff I've given thousands of pounds worth of stuff, good stuff, to charity shops. Because, you know, I was really careful with money. I still am. I would see stuff in charity shops, secondhand, quality, well-made stuff. I prefer to have that than all of this new cheap Chinese bullshit which falls apart. I'm not buying it, son. I'm not having it. So I was very fortunate enough to be guided around all of these hundreds and hundreds of charity shops over the years and acquiring all of this really good quality, lovely stuff for next to nothing. And I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be moving. I need the money. There's no room because I'm going to be downsizing. So why not give it back, pay it forward? It'll end up in charity shops, which it did. And I was already envisioning someone coming along in a charity shop and go, wow, look at that. I know how much that is. I've always wanted that. That's brilliant. And they just buy it for a few quid. Cheers someone up, makes their day. So I was really, really big on that, paying it forward. So doing all of these things, and all of a sudden I stumbled across this guy. Something in my heart told me to help him big time, and I did. He offered me a job. So I was like, wow, that's in another country. My mum had just died. My dad was on his own. My brother's not far away. I had a good heart-to-heart with him, and he said to me, go for it. He said, that's what your mother would have wanted. And I did. And I keep in contact with my dad as much as I can, almost every day. And it breaks my heart sometimes because he says that my mum would be so proud of me for doing what I've done. But so I done it. I ended up out in the middle of nowhere, away from all the idiots. So my prepping plans changed. I still have like a plan B, that if something goes really tits up and this place gets compromised, I've already got plans to go. I know where to go, how to get there, multiple routes, like we should all do. Thinking ahead, making plans is not a bad thing. It's not living in fear. It's just using your imagination, using logic based upon the information that's coming your way, deciphering, navigating through the bullshit. But above all, everything else is to trust your intuition, your instincts. That will guide you. that will tell you what's bullshit and what isn't. That is going to help you. And let me tell you this, if you are new to prepping, you're spending thousands of pounds on kit and equipment, and you believe you're going to be okay, if you've got no instinct or intuition, you are already in the shit. You are going to probably fail. Okay? You really need to have that instinct. You need to trust it 100%. And that will absolutely save your ass. Like I say, give more than you receive. Help people. Make yourself a better person. Don't lie. Be honest. And when things are really bad, when money's really tight, try not to worry about it. Because if you are doing the right thing, you're growing and you're getting a better person, you're helping people and you're doing the right thing, something will always come along exactly at the right time you need it. I'm not joking. It's fact. It happens. And like I said, I ended up living in precisely the same place that I envisaged for a split second, almost 8 months or so before I ended up here. It's life-changing and it's positive. Everyone is capable of doing this. Everyone's the same. Everyone's got the same set of powers, as it were. So I'm just going to the chat. Jalapeno Chorizo. Hey, dude. Some of these names are awesome. Yeah, I got some at Avebury recently, and they do work. Believe it or not, it's true. It really is crazy. Thank you, my honey. I know I miss her terribly, but you know, yeah, we see robins and all sorts, but that's a whole other thing. Oh, look at this. I like that. I can do that as a t-shirt. Warrior, not warrior. That is beautiful. I really like that. That's awesome. So that's my message for the day. Try not to allow yourself to be bogged down with all of the bullshit. And trust me, the mainstream social media will be pumping loads of bullshit out there. What I tend to do is to try and get people into videos, live streams. Once they're in there, we talk about what's being presented. We break it down into what we see as bullshit or what not. And we try to offer people sound advice to make sure that they don't have to worry about it, that they can go through all of these bullshit stories that they keep pumping out there. And because this community is so amazing, we are getting not just preppers in here, we're getting aware preppers. We are getting people who are using their instincts, their intuition. They've got massive faith, and it's all coming into this community, and it's great. And what we're seeing, which is something truly astonishing, we are seeing people help, inspire, and encourage each other in the live chat and in the comment section underneath. It's amazing. I absolutely am so proud that I've created this environment for like-minded people to feel calm, to feel at ease, and have a laugh. Why not? Why shouldn't we have a laugh? Like-minded people. Don't forget, in 2020, when the first seal was broken, the whole of the planet was split in half. Those who believe the bullshit and those who don't. That's the easiest way to say it. Black and white, yin and yang, right and wrong, whatever you want to call it, it's a duality. And what we are finding is since that rift happened in 2020, boom, it's all over the place. Now it's starting to settle down into two camps. Those who believe in it and those who don't. It does appear that the overwhelming majority of every people that join these live streams are the group of people that don't believe the bullshit. And we need to stick together. And this community, not just mine, but that side, that half, is growing. And at some point, it is going to be the majority. It may already be the majority. Time will tell. But we live in hope. We raise the vibrations. We don't allow ourselves to worry and live in fear. We have solutions. We get positive. We use logic. We navigate. We tick the boxes as we go through. And it's all good in the hood. So you guys have an awesome day. It's going to be an awesome day. And if you want to stick around, 7 p.m. tonight, right here. Don't forget, because I know I'm being blocked and all the rest of it. And, you know, I'm not getting paid for videos. It's really difficult. So everyone, usually, not everyone, but lots of people have their notifications switched off. So if you forget, you won't be notified, you won't be live. So don't forget, 7 p.m. tonight. We will see you tonight. All right, you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Love to all. Stay funky.